Okay, it's 7 p.m. I'm still trying to guess everything on this Hangout. I think everything should be fine, so I'll get started, and when people join later, they can always go back and catch up. So hello to everyone who is out there. I can see at the time 2 people, but I hope there will be more people joining us. Plus, it's going to be recorded, so I will do it anyway, so I can later send it to everybody who registered for the Hangout. Welcome, single ladies. How are you today? It's a real shame that I can't communicate with you because you are the only ones who can hear me. And I'll be talking and sharing everything with you. And then I will enable a function question and answers, and you'll be able to ask your questions. Okay, so let me start. I'll show you quickly the agenda for today. Here it is. The title of the Hangout is Do 3 Things to Attract One Amazing Man. And I would like to share with you my story because I want you to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Then I'll give you a short definition of who the high quality man is, in my view. Then I'll share the 3 things which you can do to attract him. And I'll tell you a little bit about my workshop, which is happening on the 26th of October. And I'll introduce you to my new website. We just got released yesterday, so I'm very excited about it. Okay, so now let me go back so you can see me while I'm talking to you, and I'll tell you my story. My name is Ashka Colton, and I have founded two kind of organizations for single people. Happy Single, who was just purely for single people who want to become happier while they are single, because I believe this is the crucial step towards happy relationships. And then later on, it evolved into Get Ready for Love, and I work with single women and I help them get ready to attract love and prepare for relationships. Because most of the single women I work with really want to manifest an amazing relationship, really want to be happy with a special man. So I'm very happy to be able to help them. So how did I get to where I am? Let me tell you my story. I hope it won't take ages, but I think it's important because you will understand me better and where I'm coming from. So about 13 years ago, I'm from Poland, by the way. So about 13 years ago, I arrived to the UK with this big dream of attracting a beautiful man who would make me happy, would look after me, would resolve all my problems and issues, and my life would be just easy and peachy. So to do that, I started to date online, and I kept meeting different men and kept having different kind of relationships and getting all my lessons, romantic lessons, in love, in relationships, about men, which is a very important subject if you want to be successful in dating and in relationships. They should teach us at school how to understand men and how to deal with men, because we are very different. And due to the differences, there are many little problems, issues, miscommunications, which could be avoided if we knew how men function. So I encourage every woman I meet to learn something about men. So with this big dream, I kept dating, I kept getting hurt, there were tears, there were disappointments, there were also beautiful times and beautiful lessons. And it took me quite a few years to realize that something is not quite working here, because instead of getting it right, I keep getting it wrong all the time. And about 8 years ago, when I was in my last low quality relationship, I would call, after the relationship, I was completely burnt out and completely tired of relationships. But also I turned 30 and I got into a state of panic. I felt, okay, I'm entering my 30s and I have no boyfriend, no husband, no kids, I'm not married. What am I going to do? So I started to date even more. And all the dates I had in this little period, straight after I split up with my ex-boyfriend, and for the next few months I dated intensely, they were just the biggest disappointments of my life. I kept meeting very average guys, very uninspiring guys. I had nothing in common with them, and I basically just wasted my time for a few months. But I don't see it this way, because it was a wake-up call to me. After one of those dates, I woke up in the morning and I couldn't even remember the name of the guy I dated last night. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is wrong. I don't even remember the name of the guy, let alone the subjects we talked about. It was a waste of time. So I started to ask myself questions. What am I doing here? Why am I running away from myself? Why do I want to be in a relationship so much? And I bring so much desperation into the whole dating and love life, and I make it so difficult on myself. But the most important question was, what am I learning from the whole experience? What am I learning from being single? And that was it. The shift happened then, because I started to write and write and write. I took a little notebook and I kept writing all my answers, and they kept coming, they kept coming. And then I just got like, oh my God, there's so much to appreciate here. There's so much to embrace here. And I had been abandoning myself for so long, because now I see it as a little betrayal. I got running away from myself into the arms of other people, expecting them to make me happy, where in fact, the only person who could make me happy was myself. And that day, I decided to stop dating for a while. So I deleted all my profiles from the websites which I was registered with. And I decided to go on a dating detox, meaning dating and relationship detox. For 1.5 or almost 2 years, I completely focused on myself. I ignored, or maybe that's the wrong word, I didn't ignore men, but I just didn't pay attention to them. I wasn't interested. I didn't want to go out with anybody. I didn't want to meet men, but not because I was bitter or I hated men, because I wanted to focus on myself. I wanted to give myself some quality time to reevaluate my approach to my love life, my approach to dating. I wanted to give myself a little bit of love, pamper myself, do things which I really like doing, rediscover all my passions from the past, just be with myself. So during this time, I felt amazing, because I was free. I didn't have to chase anything, especially relationships, which was my very big project for many years, and it was tiring and draining. So as I said, I refocused. I was completely focused on myself, on my life. I started to do things which I really wanted to do with my future guy. So I kept postponing everything until I met the right person, but the person never turned up. So I figured maybe I should just start living my life rather than waiting for my guy to live it with. And maybe I should just create my life before I meet him. So when I'm living my perfect life or happy life, I'm a happy person and I'll probably attract a happy guy. And this is how it works, really. So I took the time for myself. I kind of rebuilt everything. I became stronger. I became happier. I became also, in my view, a better coach because I also worked on my self-esteem and self-love. So I had firmer boundaries around dating. Later on, I became more picky, more selective, which really helps in dating, ladies. And I changed myself to the point that I started to attract different type of men. So after this time, after my detox, I went dating again and there was no desperation whatsoever. I approached dating differently. Now it became rather fun and something new. And every day it was like a new experience. But I didn't go to meet this man because I was looking for a husband or a boyfriend. I just went there to have a nice evening, fun, and learn something new because every day brings something new to the table. So you can learn lots of things about people's life, but also about yourself, which is very important. And now I am in a very nice relationship. It took me a few years, but I was having fun along the way. I'm in a nice relationship with a true man, not a boy like I used to date boys. And I'm discovering different aspects of myself in this new situation after a long break because I was single for 7 years. And it is very special. It is very interesting and that brings me to the point where probably I could answer the question why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I meet many single women who have given up on love and I don't really like it. I know how it feels because I was there for a few years. And I know we sometimes protect ourselves this way from getting hurt, getting it wrong again, from feeling really not worthy, not lovable. So we create this little story, or love doesn't exist, or love doesn't work, and I'm gonna be single forever. And when I meet women like that, I just want to shake them. No, that's not true. Love happens, and it works, and it can happen to you if you just remove all the obstacles, your internal obstacles to love, and it can happen to you too. So because I've been through all my journey and I have got the results the way I wanted, so a special relationship, an extraordinary relationship with a man, a high quality man, I know I can help other single women to get there and I can help them work on the obstacles. I can get them to get ready for love and prepare for a relationship and find the amazing guy they're looking for. So that is my mission, to actually turn all these bitter and miserable single women into happy ones who can attract happy men and create happy relationships. So that is my little introduction. That little, it has taken me about 10 minutes. And now I think you don't need to see my face all the time because I'm gonna show you the presentation and I'm gonna tell you more about high quality man and 3 things you can do to attract him. So let me screen share my screen here. Okay. And I hope you see everything. So I'm done with my story. And now we are going to talk about high quality man. So who is a high quality man? I have created a little list. I think you could probably add a little bit more, but it doesn't matter because this list is enough to recognize him. And why a high quality man? Because I think average men don't make us happy. They clearly didn't make me happy, and I am where I am now because I have never given up on believing in high quality men and love. I kept getting hurt, and I kept dusting myself off, and I kept going for more. So I have figured that I want a high quality man, and I want a high quality man for you too. So a high quality man will be self-assured, and his self-esteem will be quite high, but healthy, not arrogant. I think he will know his worth, and he won't be looking for approval or validation, which helps a lot because you won't need to rescue him in a relationship all the time. He is a grown-up, and he can look after himself, and he doesn't look for a mummy. Strong communicator, emotionally intelligent, mature and responsible, honest and genuine. This is very important in dating, and it makes the whole experience completely different. I think high quality men just don't bother playing games, and they just tell you what they think or what they want, and you know where you stand with them. They are also ready to work on a relationship, and they are ready to commit. They want to take responsibility for all the issues within the relationship, and they want to talk them through, they want to work them out, and they want to become stronger with you as a couple. They also have strong boundaries, and they respect themselves. And I would describe a high quality man as a man of integrity. They're consistent. Their words match their actions, and this is very important. You know, I never believe a man, what do they say? I'm always like, okay, let me see if you can follow up. If you do what you say, you are a quality man. So this is my criteria. And when they promise, they deliver. You don't need to wonder, is he going to call me? Is he going to show up on a date? Or is he going to take me where he promised to take me? He will just do it, and you can just leave it with him. You don't need to worry. So your life is a little bit easier. He is also able to say sorry and admit he is wrong. He will be making mistakes because he won't be perfect. He's as human as you are. But he will be ready to amend his errors. So this is my simple definition of a high quality man. And to attract a man like this, you need to become who you are looking for. So to attract a high quality man, you need to become a high quality woman yourself. This is how it works, or it worked in my life. A few years back, I was always dreaming about this attractive, amazing, mature, intelligent, successful, solvent man. But when I met them, I felt completely intimidated by them because I didn't find it in me yet. I was too shy, not in my power, definitely. I was of a low quality at that time, I would say. So I really needed to work on myself to become a high quality woman who attracted a high quality man. And I think this is the only way to go. You need to match his energy. You need to match his level. Otherwise, you will always feel insecure or intimidated, which you probably don't want to feel like that. Okay, so now we are going to the 3 things to do to attract one amazing man. And the first one is show your feminine side. Become more feminine. And I'm probably not the most feminine woman on planet Earth. I mean, lots of things have changed. I used to be very strong. I used to bring this strong and aggressive energy with me to dating, to my relationships. I completely emasculated all my boyfriends, ex-boyfriends. Maybe not all, but because I was so strong, I also had a tendency to attract very weak men who I had to look after. I had to rescue them, and they were kind of draining me because they were taking my strength away. But I'm not talking about them because it's their fault. I completely take responsibility for that, and I bless all my ex-boyfriends for giving me all the lessons. I think they were great teachers, and it was all about me. What you have internally, you project outside, and I was a very strong and kind of aggressive woman, and I attracted this kind of weak and not very strong men. But now the story is a little bit different because I let men lead a little bit more, and I quite enjoy it, to be honest. I think these days we have become so strong and so so self-sufficient, and so independent and in control, and we have everything sorted out. We can do almost everything. So in theory, we don't need men. And this is how they feel when you approach them from this kind of energy. They feel they are not needed. They feel emasculated. And they don't really feel attracted to women like that. But you need to remember that men crave your femininity like nothing else. Your softness, your flow, your complexities, your deep mind, your emotional depth, they crave it. So the more of it you show it, the easier it will be to attract them. So my advice to all the women is, when you go on a date, leave your job, your achievements, your occupied mind at home. And before you go, connect with your heart and bring all the gentleness out and take it with you to the date. And it will resonate with his masculinity, with his masculine side, and the date should be a great fun. So how do you show your femininity? Don't compete, don't chase him, it's his job. Don't push for another date or any kind of behavior from his side. If it is not there, maybe he's not the man for you. Let him lead. Be relaxed, be more of an observer rather than very involved at the beginning, because that will give him space to look after you, to organize dates, to take you out. Be in the moment, let him shine a bit by asking questions about him and his life and his work, especially work. This is such an important subject if it comes to men. They're very work driven, and when you talk about their job, it usually is a good topic to talk about. Appreciate and admire him if there is an opportunity. I'm not a big fan of fake compliments or unauthentic kind of approvals. No, if he says something nice and you like it, just say it. It's a nice gesture and he will love you for this. So the whole thing is about being happy, being smiley, easygoing, caring, being in the moment. And smile is a big one. Smile is a big one. It's such a simple thing, but I think all men love it. I've never met a man who would tell me, I don't like when women smile. They all love it. And touch is another important thing. So when you are on a date, it's good to be close to the guy. And if you like him, you can pat on his arm or grab his hand if that feels appropriate. But that depends on the context and on the situation. Don't do things which don't agree with you, because he will feel it. He will feel it. I believe men are very intelligent inside. Maybe on a kind of instinctive level, they pick up things like we use our intuition. I think men use their instinct. And when you do something which doesn't agree with you, or you force yourself to do it, they will pick up on it. And I think they also love to see our vulnerable side. They want to see our authentic, real self. So if you show him a weakness on the first date, there won't be a crime. He will actually probably like you more, because he will know, oh my gosh, there's this soft girl and she told me this and that about her, which I really like. So I would like to meet her again. So don't hide these little things. Don't think you have to be perfect and you have to show up like completely sorted and perfect, as I said. You don't need to be always sexy. You don't need to be always strong and independent. You can show him these things later on in a relationship. But the first few days are all about being in the moment, being soft and gentle and easygoing, nice to talk to. That will give him room to please you and chase you. And when he pleases you, this will make him feel good about himself. And this is the top secret for all the single ladies. And men respond to you by measuring or observing how they feel around you. And if you make them feel good about themselves, they will want to come back to you. So the secret is make sure he feels good around you. So that was the first thing. And now the second secret. Love and respect yourself. And it's such a biggie. It has taken me probably 20 years to realize what it really means. And everything starts from loving yourself. You can't love others or receive love from others if you don't have it for yourself in your heart. You won't be able to receive love from your man if you don't believe you are lovable. We have a tendency to look for it outside instead of giving it to ourselves in the first place. And the less in love you are with yourself, the more of it you will want from others. So you will show up as desperate or needy. And the more love you give yourself, the less needy you are, which means automatically you become more attractive to any man. So I think there are 3 areas of self-love, and it's self-acceptance, which is about forgiving, compassion, accepting your own flaws and imperfections. Self-respect, which is about keeping healthy boundaries, being assertive when you have to be, respecting your own values, beliefs, and needs. And also self-responsibility, which means taking responsibility for fulfilling your own needs, desires, dreams, and happiness. To me, loving myself means so many different things. I'll give you a few, but you can also create a little list for yourself after this webinar or hangout. You can create a list. How do I love myself? What self-love means to me? And it's a nice exercise. And when I do it, I always write a lot. I'm all about writing. Not everyone is like that. But you can explore it internally. Just ask yourself a question and listen to the answers. For me, self-love is about caring and looking after myself, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It is also about being kind to myself, having also respect to myself and valuing myself. It's about being authentic and living my truth. It's about being vulnerable and being human. And being important to myself and putting myself first sometimes. It's also about going for what I really want in life and following my heart, achieving my goals, living my purpose, these kind of things. And very important one is about believing in myself and having healthy self-esteem and feeling worthy. That would be all what self-love means to me. And on the screen, you can see how it changes your life and what changes when you love yourself dearly. You become more compassionate to yourself, and automatically you become more compassionate to others. So your relationships with other people improve because you have better understanding and more compassion. By loving yourself, you also raise your self-esteem and confidence, which are very important in dating, because the higher self-esteem, the higher your confidence, the better guys you will attract. And you also will be in a better position to reject the ones who are not worthy. You will also improve your boundaries. They will become stronger, and this is what you need in dating. Strong boundaries, being strict and selective, no compromises. We are talking about love, and love is important. I think also it helps you to protect yourself in dating and being wiser. Don't date anybody because he just wants to date you. Date only the man you feel they can bring something into your life. When you love yourself, it will be also easier for you to deal with rejections in dating, because they will happen and you won't be able to avoid them. But the more you experience, the more rejections you experience, the more immune you become. So I advise everybody to just go for them, go for the dates and see what happens. It is rare that you actually click with someone. It's more realistic to approach dating like there will be a few rejections before you meet someone interesting and you click with them. You stop improving yourself, which is a very good one, and instead you become more authentic, and you stop seeking approval and validation because you have your love and you don't need to get it from others so desperately like before. You can stand up for yourself, it's easier, and you become more secure within yourself and happy with yourself, which brings us to the last thing I want to talk about today. Become happy with yourself and your life. And this, my ladies, is probably the most attractive thing you can show to a guy. They love meeting happy women. I think being happy is attractive, and showing it to the world or projecting it just attracts suitable men to us. I think there's still so many single women who want to meet the guy because they believe the guy will make them happy. And this is one of the biggest illusions, as even if you are with a very amazing guy in your relationship, there will be times that you'll be probably feeling more unhappy than now when you are being single. I don't believe it's a man's job to make you and keep you happy. It's your job. And the sooner you take responsibility for your personal happiness, the sooner you become happier, meaning more sexy and more attractive to men. And if we are talking about high quality men, they don't want miserable women. They want high quality, happy women, women who have full lives, women who have sorted careers, who are responsible for their finances and their happiness and fun, and they have passions. They don't want to rescue women. They want to love them, and they want to meet an equal partner and equally happy as they are. That's why I think being happy is very important, and we should all become happy before we meet the guys. So it's your responsibility towards yourself to become happy with who you are, what you have, or what don't you have in life. And do it now rather than in the future when you are in a relationship. Being happy is sexy, and men respond to it. It's very likely that if you are unhappy being single, you will be unhappy in a relationship too. Or after the honeymoon phase, you'll start sabotaging your relationship because, of course, during the first few months, we are all naturally happy because all the hormones are running in our body. But then you come down to earth after a few months, and if you are miserable before you started the relationship, you'll probably come back to being miserable in a relationship, and that will make your guy happy probably. Because when you are unhappy with yourself, it's hard to be happy with someone else. This is worth noting. The happier you are with your life and yourself, the more attractive you are to others. And nobody wants to date miserable people, neither men or women. I'm sure you wouldn't like to date miserable guys either. So, girls, being happy is very attractive, and it pulls men towards you as they know they can easily keep you happy, which is their ultimate goal. That is another secret about men. They really want to please us. They really want to make us happy. And when they meet a happy woman, they already know it will be an easy job and they will win. They will succeed in a relationship with you because you are happy already. It won't be hard work. So become happy with yourself and your life before you meet the guy. And that is probably what I wanted to say to you about what to do to attract one amazing man. Now I wanted to tell you that on the 26th of October, I'm running a course, The Way of a Happy Woman, where I will be talking about all the things I've mentioned today during the Hangout. And we'll be exploring the subject of happiness, how to raise your value and your self-esteem, how to be more confident in dating, how to fall in love with yourself and your life, and become this happy woman who attracts high-quality men easily and effortlessly. There will be also a little section on femininity and sensuality run by my dear friend Justynka Bieniek. And there will be some probably spontaneous questions, and I've run a few workshops like that already, and they're always different because different women bring different things, so we discuss things as they turn up. And I would love you to come and join us. It's a very cozy setup because it's going to happen in a living room at Justyna's. And because of that, because it's a cozy group and a kind of home environment, the workshop is very cheap in my opinion. And now I have to stop sharing the screen and show you something else. Hello, you can see me now. I'm sharing one application here, which you will be able to see on the right, which is this side probably on the screen. There will be my picture and Happy Single, and will be a little icon like a square. If you click on it, you will see two applications, questions and answers, and showcase. So when you go to the showcase, you should be able to see the whole description of the workshop. and all the details. So you can read more about it. And the price for the workshop is only £40 until 20th of October. And afterwards it goes to £50. It's next Sunday from 11 to 5 o'clock. And I would love to see some of you there. If you have any questions, you can email me at ashka@getreadyforlove.uk. And if you have any questions, you can also ask them here. So I'll wait for... Oh, someone is telling me the PowerPoint is not changing on the screen. A bugger. Then it's too late. But at least you heard me speaking. So you can ask questions. You can also visit my website, the new website which was released yesterday. There is a quiz which can help you determine how ready you are for love. So you can take the quiz. It's fun. I don't see any questions. I'll wait a few minutes and then I'll wrap it up. I think next time I'll need a helper here. They can monitor the questions and tell me about things which are not working. I can't see any questions. So I think I'll be finishing. And I hope you got some inspiring and helpful tips. Whoever is not registered for my blog, I encourage you to do that because I write it regularly and I share more of the tips and insights about love, happiness, and relationships. And it would be lovely to have you there. Thank you very much for joining me. I've had 10 people. Yay! Thank you, ladies. And the recording will be available on YouTube and Google+, but maybe I will re-record it since the PowerPoint didn't work. I'll see, but as long as you could hear me, everything should be fine. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a lovely evening and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.